we've been talking quite a bit about the ammunition situation in America and in Europe because of the war efforts in Europe. And what we're seeing is the US military, from small arms ammo to 155 millimeter shells, they're running low. They're sending it all over there. And we've started to take from our stockpiles here in the US, specifically on those larger shells. Now, what we've been talking about on this channel is kind of a warning to everybody that when the ammo companies are working around the clock, mostly making government ammo, and only a little of that is making it to the shelves, and we're not at war here in the United States, but we're dealing with an ammunition situation that we haven't seen since World War II, and again, we don't have any soldiers shooting a single round. The problem is if things get any hotter over in Europe, and they probably are, and for sure, if anything kicks off with China, we're going to be in a world of hurt when it comes to another major ammo shortage that's not like the last one, because the last one happened because there was a spike in demand from civilians. And then there was no war effort. So ammo manufacturers were just pumping out a lot of civilian ammo and a little bit of government contract ammo as well. This time, there won't be a lot of civilian ammo coming back. So I believe it is extremely important to talk about certain calibers that are very popular that I believe in 2024, if anything changes in other parts of the world, that you're not going to be able to find these. There's a lot of Wildcat cartridges and a lot of hunting cartridges that are going to be very hard to find. I tried to narrow down 5 that are the most popular that I believe you're not going to find. And the reason is because A, they're not NATO rounds, and B, even though they're popular with civilians in America, they're not really being used necessarily in any sort of police or military effort around the world. Just they're only popular to you and me. So here's the top 5 calibers I recommend you stockpile before 2024. Number 1, the 6.5 Creedmoor. Now, I guarantee you're going to say, what? That's one of the most popular bolt-action rifle rounds out there. How could you say the 6.5 Creedmoor? Well, because it's not real popular among the military and the police. That's why. It's very popular to us, but if you bought a 6.5 Creedmoor rifle before 2019, join the millions of people that also did. But like them, you probably had a hard time finding one single box of 6.5 Creedmoor in 2019, maybe even in 2020. And then they started to come back. And I'm just telling you, yeah, they're popular to civilians, but that's it. And it's the most popular bolt-action rifle round probably right now. And if something takes place over there, you're going to wish you had stockpiled. The millions of you that bought those rifles, you're going to wish you had stockpiled that 6.5 Creedmoor. Number 2, 44 Magnum. Now, the 44 Magnum is a very popular revolver round that's not as popular as some. But definitely, I would argue, the 3rd most popular revolver round out there. And similar to the 6.5 Creedmoor, it really wasn't until 2022 that the first time I actually saw with my own eyes a box of 44 Magnum on the shelf again. Being as popular as the 44 Magnum was, 44 Magnum is incredibly impractical when it comes to military efforts. So, I might argue that I disagree with that, but, that's why I'm not the guy buying guns for the military. But military, they don't use the 44 Magnum. Only a few people in the U.S. really use that at all. And when I say few, I just mean like it's not very popular in other parts of the world. And really only popular among people that carry it like in the mountains, or worried about bears, that kind of thing. But 44 Magnum, good luck finding that. Number 3, 300 Blackout. Now, 300 Blackout is by far the most popular Wildcat AR cartridge before 2019, but honestly, and I hadn't looked a lot for 300 Blackout, but what I've found over the last couple years is harder to find than 6.5 Creedmoor. So, and if you bought a 300 Blackout rifle, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Number 4, 38 Special. Now, the 38 Special, I would argue, is the most popular revolver round out there. Most people, when they went out, did that panic buying of guns in 2019, most people that did not buy a 9mm probably bought a 38 Special. It was the second most popular caliber of handguns purchased during that time. And similarly to a lot of other calibers that were not 9mm, these were hard to find. They were very hard to find. And, they popped up before a lot of the other revolver rounds, but only really, I'd say the latter part of 2020, it's kind of start to get consistently finding that at okay prices. But 38 Special is going to be another one. You're going to wish you had stockpiled if anything changes in this world. Finally, number 5, the 357 Magnum. Now, the 357 Magnum's on this list for the same reasons. It's a very popular revolver round. I would argue the second most popular revolver round in the world, and many people carry a 357 Magnum. I carry a 357 Magnum, but it's definitely a cartridge that I plan on stockpiling before 2024 because, really all of these rounds you're going to see are some of the most popular rounds out there that aren't NATO rounds. And that's really kind of what it comes down to, because NATO is going to be what's getting pounded out. Because the ammo companies will be mostly making government ammo, if not only government ammo, if for some reason there's some U.S. boots on the ground anywhere in this world. And some of that will trickle out to you because the ammo companies, if they're making, they're working 24/7, they might make government ammo for 20 hours and 4 hours go to civilian ammo, but they're not going to change the machines around. So there you go. There's my thoughts. Kind of hope I'm wrong on this. Don't think I am. But again, if nothing happens over there, well, then of course I'm wrong. But if anything changes in this world, I think you're going to wish you had stockpiled those 5. Any thoughts or insight? Put that below. I want to take a moment and thank Jace Medical for not only supporting this channel, but making the most important prep available to Americans. Receiving emergency antibiotics and or your chronic medications from a U.S. doctor and a U.S. pharmacy. It's the most important prep you can make. Don't delay. That link is below. If you like this video, click like and subscribe. Feel called to support this channel with Patreon. That link is also below. But the most important part of this channel is we take prayer requests, so never hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, love guns.